Why did you bully? Well, in grade school, I grew up with some childhood friends who were, somewhat like me. And we were hormone driven, so we played things like football and basketball, and we often played pranks on each other. And things would often erupt into violence. But once we started clowning each other, I could make someone cry. Look, I really have no merits when you compare my message to other people out there, but I really wanted to share my story before I leave for our date. This is my story. Because in grade school, I was the fool. The head fool. On September 2010, Dan Savage started the It Gets Better project in order to combat the bullying of LGBT teens. This social medium has opened the gates for more dialogue, not only for the victim, but for the bully as well. By having the bully communicate to the world through their perspective, we can truly begin to isolate the core issues consistent with their aggression. And maybe then we can help curb this epidemic of teen suicides. Performing nonfiction prose for the Trevor Project from the perspective of Ian Mark Gray. Now, let me get something straight here, okay? I was a bit of a nerd growing up, and I was bullied a bit when I was in school, but I actually had people to watch my back, so being a nerd really wasn't that bad. So I love playing video games, I love my Pokemon, and I just love being the first to finish my math exam, stand up and hand deliver my test, just so that everyone could see. But that's beside the point. One of my friends had a brother who was about 2 years younger than we were. And he was a funny kid, but he was also a baby. And we teased him for it. Aw, little baby still want to sleep with his mama. Stop crying! You're acting like a little girl. As well as other things that weren't masculine. And we had this cultural obsession that as males, we had to portray this masculine figure. And if you had any sense of femininity in you, you're a little bitch. You have to be moved into masculinity. So I remember I was watching television one day on the couch, and there were these two guys at a grocery store, and they were looking at each other, and they started giggling at these really, really large cucumbers. And I was confused. Why are they laughing at these really, really large cucumbers? Well, this is when my dad walked in and saw the confusion on my face. It's because they're gay. You better not be a fag, you bitch. His name was Garrison. Or Gary. A somewhat flamboyant but obviously gay kid who had to share the locker rooms with him. And everyone felt really uncomfortable to change in front of him. I mean, no one wanted to expose themselves in front of a gay kid who might be looking. So I figured I would make him feel uncomfortable, instead of the other way around. Gary Ray is queer and gay, Gary Ray is queer and gay, Gary Ray is queer and gay, Gary Ray is queer and gay. I had the whole entire locker room march to that mantra because I was that much of a role model. And I could spread a rumor like nobody's business. Did you hear? Gary was molested as a kid by his father. That's funny, right? Yeah. That's hilarious. So I was walking down the hall with a pack of friends, and we saw Gary over at his locker. So we decided to walk up right behind him. And when Gary turned around, we pushed